Betut age ako kasarta age nekakituye tuwai eng tetutiet nebo Kass Mashinani nebo rani kosomok kasi tarik 21 arawet netai kenyitab 2026 konomite tuwai eng betutab raini kwane Bernard Tanoi ara itagat kitaune county noton nebo Nandi ole kitesetai kegere akobo logoiwek kotinygei ak yautiet noton kiibokchi askarik RDU neranik choto kiurereni urerietab pool eng taonitab Nandi Hills. Ole eng koret agenge nebo keger kele kakiyochi imanda bichotok kikinyalil akonyor biret kobun askarik choto bo RDU kokotoroch ketit eng kasarta nebo betusiek 3 anan saisiek 72 neran agenge eng taonitab Nandi Hills konerikyin yautionoto ole mochei ine kobit imanda. Kosubkei nerananata kiguren Abel Kiplagat kotindoi kayanet kole wendi konyoru imanda bichoto kikibir akikoten ole kekoito kurset eng ribikab kalyet kokonyit imanda noto nebo biikab emet ako noto kotil ine kotoroch ketit eng saisiek choto ite 72 asi kokon kasimchinet eng serikali koker kole kaipchi kakwautik askarik choto bo RDU asikonyor imanda bichotok kinyor biret kobun askarik chotok. Ko kinyoru report notok eng koindo kobun sirindenyo eng kebeberta nebo Nandi Hills Nelson Tarbei.
Koimongei nerananoto kekure Abel Kiplagat nenat eng kainet ake ko Rospela nebo Jeiso akotoroch ketit eng taonitab Nandi Hills eng kasarta nebo betusiek 3 koboru ine kaimetabkei kotinygei ak kabokyinet nekibokyi askarikab RDU meng'ikab taonitab Nandi Hills kosubkei ak amune netomo kenai.
Kiyai makoset bichoto kobwa amu ingobwoni kokatuchkei kokertokochi kole sasa nguni makoi nai akinye koumisan neranik chok kopirobir koumisan nimeanat kabisa. Sasa koamangu akamangu kwa senge Rospela nebo Jeiso akale awendi baturochi ketit betusiek 72 hours bitu age amu kiamwochi biik ing Nandi Hills yoto ami ketit aturochi ketit ko ki betunoto kimi kotem biik honorable Bernard Kitur ko ikanyo yoto alechi bichu ngonyone Bernard Kitur rani alechi roboni betunoto nyikounda tengekwokik chikei bichoto ak alechi in kamuktaindet kongo ingetonik chatoroch.
Kotoroch ine ketit eng saisiek choto 72 anan 72 hours nenato ko betusiek 3 nemakitwaekei ole kamwa ine kole koui kot mising nito.
Kwatoroch ketit eng betusiek choto 3 betut netai kiek challenge nea maraisi anyun ng'olionoto kwae koui mami kotyem lakwa nebo chi amu kiek challenge ane betut netai ingotou betunoto tai bas ko kwanyinyito ko mahali kole ako karibu saa 7 keboyo lakini indaro keribo anyun amu kasinito ngiyoe komi security mi kila kitu makoi inuchi mewechigei metorechigei meyache no ming'ino meyache nao amakindo kimoet asira mamondoi kinyo kit kityo neboisie kineboisie kityo ko glucose ak beek.
Kosubkei ak alak eng meng'ikab Nandi Hills komanyal yautyonoto kiyai askarik choto bo RDU ole nyalu kekoch biikab emet boroindo koyai boisionik eng saisiek tugul.
Meche amwochi polisiek choto kalechi pool is a game netesetai akot sai komite Olympics. So makimeche ng'alek chebo primitivity chebwone biik ak nyikobirech bila sababu.
Taonit nenyon en Nandi Hills ni kokomo ketinyegei shida ak police kobate kityo kokitinye shida neu kinyoru ko biikab RDU chekobwa kong'ete emenwa akobwa nyikobiris eng taonit ni, lakini from today ko kakedilkean kele makemeche ng'alechotok ako yekakokwakan ketit werib kotar ng'alekchik kemeche kele kongoi.
Kasomeche kora kero kele kakikush kong lakwet newerit eng moet kole chang neranik chewerik chematinye boisionik eng emet.
Na wale viongozi wote ningependa tulete vichwa pamoja kwa sababu ile shida tuko nayo sana ni unemployment kwa vijana wetu. Na ningependa kuambia wale viongozi wenye mko hapa wote kaeni chini, leave alone your differences, tukuje tusaidie vijana wapate kazi na tuweze kuendesha Kenya yetu mbele. Asanteni sana.
Kong'eteke kaunti nebo Nandi logoiwekab emet yebo Kass. Ainenyu ko Nelson Tarbei.
Ketesetai ko kakokoito kurset minista noton nebo ripsetab kalyet eng emet orit Kipchumba Murkomen koityi kandoik eng emet komugul kotoretkei ak ministry noton nebo somanet koker kole kachut grade 10 lagok tugul chekoyoe tiemutik choton chebo grade 9 asikobit kotestai ak somanet eng sukulishek choton chebo senior school. Kongololi eng kebeberta noton nebo Elgeyo Marakwet kokwetab Kasige eng Marakwet East eng igorta nebo konoretab bortab nego MCA nebo ward nebo Endo ward Jeremiah Kibiwot komwa Murkomen kole magat kochut sukul lagok tugul choto chebo grade 9 asikosulda tetutietab serikali noton nebo 100% transition eng emetab Kenya eng mwaet kole manyalu kotebi eng gaa kipsomaniat age tugul. Eng kasaratak kobarasta Murkomen kole kaketoi kebeberta ne inegei nebo asikarik chebendi kondochin boriet noto kitokchin eisetab mayek ak boisietab kerichekab bokitet chekamwa kole kiibu kerichekab bokitet kobun emotinwek choto bo sang cheboto emetab Uganda ak unoto kobendi asikarik chotok koyoe kit age tugul koker kole kakitonon mung'aranoto maiyanat ole kaitechi biik choto tinyegei ak mung'arosiek choto koistoegei anan kotuiyo ak ng'atutik. Kongekas akobo ng'alaletab Murkomen.
Hatuwezi kusonga mbele na bangi na pombe. And I'm so surprised kwamba nilifikiria bangi ni vitu ya huko town. Nimeshangaa nyinyi mnapanda bangi kwa hapa nyumbani. Na hiyo kwa sababu ya insecurity, ile watu walikuwa wamefungia huko Kerio, walikuwa wanapanda bangi huko, wanaingia huku ndani ya chepa huko ndani, wanaenda kupanda bangi. Sasa tumesema county commissioner is going to lead security team. Tunataka kumaliza bangi katika Kerio Valley na Elgeyo Marakwet County ishe yote, na ile pombe haramu. Hii pombe inaletwa kutoka Uganda, inapitishwa West Pokot, inafika hapa, inapitishwa Kitale, inafika Iten, inafika Eldoret. Sasa tumekubaliana kwamba kwa directive ya rais tutafanya specialized operation targeting commercial suppliers of adulterated alcohol na distributors first. We want to cut the supply ndio sasa to deal na wale watu wa consumption kwa sehemu hii. Na nakubaliana na governor, rais alitangaza akasema anataka tujenge rehabilitation center moja kwa kila county. Governor ya kwanza na rais akaniambia andikia barua all governors. Governor ya kwanza kujibu barua ni governor ya Elgeyo Marakwet County. Ako ameshanitumia barua yake. Sasa tunapanga na Department of Housing so that we build hiyo rehabilitation center ambayo tunasema kwamba we want to build it so that tusonge mbele kupitia irrigation ambayo itafanywa sehemu hii. Mambo ya masomo ni kitu ya maana sana. Mheshimiwa Rais anaendelea kutusupport kuhakikisha walimu wako katika mashule zetu. Na mimi nawaomba sana ya kwamba sisi wote tuhakikishe there is a full transition wa watoto wetu waende JSS to year 10. Na county commissioner is under our instructions wakifanya kazi na chiefs kuhakikisha kwamba watoto wote wenye wako nyumbani tumetafuta njia yoyote ya kuhakikisha kuna transition kutoka grade 9 to grade 10. Na tumekubaliana na MCAs wote wa Elgeyo Marakwet. Niliambia hawa waende wards zao watafute watoto wenye wako na shida, watoto 10 kwa kila MCA waniletee, nitalipa 10,000 for every child hapo kuhakikisha hao watoto. So MCAs sijapata list yenu na niliwaambia mlete haraka kabla watoto waende nyumbani. Itakuwa njia moja yenye mimi nitasaidia kuhakikisha we mop up watoto wenye ambao wangekuwa nyumbani hapa wange transist waende high school. Na pia we have to build our schools. We must make sure that watoto hao wanaenda hizi shule zetu ambayo tumejenga kwa hapa, ili tuhakikishe ya kwamba also the schools are being built so that we can carry out equitable issues related to education.
Kongololi en kasarta nekoindochi tuyetab konetisiet nebo temik anan field day en koito chebango en sub-county nebo Sotik en county.
Ketesetai kebendoi county noton nebo Bomet ole katestai kokimit ministry noton nebo kabatisiet kubun sirindet neo anan principal secretary Dr. Paul Rono kole tesetai serikali ak tetutik chebo ibunetab walet eng sekta nebo chaik eng tokyinet kityo nebo keker kele kanyor melekto nemite barak kabatikab chaik kong'ololi eng kasarta nekorutechi kebeberwek cheterter eng kaunti nebo Bomet, komwa ine kole kikotestai konyor asenet neo kabatik kobun lipanetab melekwokik chemite ng'weny kobun aliet noton nebo chaik nekotestai kwo ng'weny koboto kandoinatet neya nebo KTDA netomo kotoret kabatik kou ole magat ak kounoto kotesetai walutik chotok asi kesor kabatik ak keker kele kawo barak sekta noton nebo chaik eng emoni akot kounoto kocher Dr. Rono kabatik kochopchigei kolsetab chaik yarik kasartab kolset eng arawetab 4 eng mwaet kole tesetai serikali koroptoi mbolea cheboisien kabatik akounoto komagat kochopchigei komie kabatik kasarta noton nebo kolset. Kongenyoru report notok kobun sirindenyo eng kaunti nebo Bomet, Festus Rono.
Nebo Bomet komwa PS nebo kabatisiet en emoni Dr. Paul Rono kole kikobun uinwek temikab chaik en emoni kosubkei ak kandoinatet nebo KTDA noton tesentai kalititet.
Crown ya majani chai vile siasa inaendelea ndani ya KTDA sio mzuri. Tukapata ya kwamba majani chai imetumika kuwa collateral ya kuchukua loan na majani chai ya mkulima. Hata unachukua loan unalipa mkulima. Pesa ilienda wapi? Ingine tukapata ya kwamba account ya factory, pesa ya kila factory haingii kwa factory account, inaingia kwa general account ya KTDA. Badala ya kuingia kwa factory ili directors of the factory waone exchange rate ngapi, wapatie exact amount ili mkulima apate haki. Lakini inaingia kwa wapi? General account.
Kosubkei ak PS Rono komawekse let en chikilisiet ak chengetab imanit en sekta nebo chaik asikonyor kelchinoik temik.
Juzi niliandikia barua kuform and kurestructure those membership. Wanaanza kuenda kotini, sijui wengine naona wako Kisumu wananisomea, wengine wako huko Central wananisomea, ati PS ameingilia, ati PS atoke, sijui PS anataka siasa. Ninasema KTDA shape out of shape. Your time is up. We have 680, almost 800,000 voters, small scale farmers. Now you cannot tell us that government cannot come in to check, verify, and make sure that the farmers get their rightful share in the land.
Kacher Rono meng'ikab county nebo Bomet kochopchigei kolsetab kawek ole nyoru keswek kobun serikalitab emoni.
Lakini April walbiri ngoni nguni kibu seedlings ready na une amundi kichukutare 8 months, lakini April tuko ground hapa, kila kichana everybody kama ni mtu ya kawa anza kuchimba mashimo, alafu April tutapeana seedlings uanze kupanda. Yaka zusige April huko mimi siasa kutika sisi ni ngalo siasa, mkutano unakwisha kimwegele imimbare.
En kasaratok ko kaindochi katiaktaetab katoldoleiwek kinuok 35,000 en Sirius nebo Sotik koityi cherongo nebo emoni asikotoret temik.
Vile fertilizers tumekakua na tuko na mbolea mzuri. Tayari tumeleta mbolea ya kutosha kwa hii mwaka. Mbolea imeanza na itakuwa 12.2 million bags. Na tayari karibu milioni 4 imefika Kenya. Na ukienda hapa Sotik utaona malori. Ukienda Bomet malori. Inasafirisha mbolea. Kwa kila siku tuko na malori karibu 200 kwa barabara. Kusafirisha mbolea na mbegu.
En komostanyin komwa MP nebo Sotik Ambassador Francis Gay kole magat kalitetetab Kipsonnoi Settlement Scheme asikistoengei uinwek chebune biik chenomu mbarenik choton boisien en kabatisiet.
Kokokisom kele keweben interest chombo settlement scheme, lakini kokemwa kele kora matkeweiben choto kotinye loan koroni kesome head of state kosto tugul sikonget biikab koroni uruiyo ara kikisto chebo kawek en yuno ako tom kisto chebo yu so amati mwani president tunganyo kuranya mwachini
Kamiten PS Rono koboto County MP nebo Bomet Linda Chepkorir Toto, nominated Senator Joyce Korir MP nebo Baringo South Charles Kamuren, ole koikochi PS chemung'arainikab siretab chebole umbrelaishek asikotoret ichek en boisietab mung'aret. Kong'eten county nebo Bomet, logoiwekab emet chebo Kass, kainenyun ko Festus Rono.
Kongetoben akobo logoiwek chetesetai eng nguno ole tesetai chamaitab UDA kokonu logoiyot kotinygei ak lewenisietab chama netesetai eng kebeberwek cheterter chebo emet koboto tetutik alak chebo bolotet yekitokyingei lewenisiet neo nenyonei ole neng'ololi eng nguno ko sirindet neo nebo chamainoto bo UDA Hassan Omar kokunotok engekas kit nemwae
na watu kutoka zile bunge za kata ndogo ndani ya taifa la Kenya ambao utakuwa wiki ijayo tarehe 26 Jumatatu saa 2 kamili katika ikulu ya Nairobi ukiwa utakuwa chaired na party leader His Excellency William Ruto. Hapo tutaangalia ama tutajadili ile hatua ambazo zimepigwa katika kuhakikisha tumetekeleza manifesto ya chama chetu ambayo kwa maarufu tunaita the plan ama the bottom up economic transformation agenda. Vile vile tutapata kwa mara ya pili kwa manufaa ya viongozi wote zile party grassroots elections report ambayo itajadiliwa pia kuangaliwa vipi tutaweza kusonga mbele na masuala ya uchaguzi na kuimarisha chama katika pembe zote za taifa la Kenya. La tatu pia ambalo ni la muhimu, tutaidhinisha yale maazimio ya baraza kuu la National Executive Committee ya UDA ambayo imemuidhinisha mkuu wa chama ama kiongozi wa chama His Excellency William Ruto kuanza mawasiliano ama mjadala maalum kwa namna ambazo na chama cha ODM ambapo utaweza kuhakikisha tumejiandaa vilivyo katika uchaguzi unaokuja wa 2027. La mwisho, kuna wale ambao watawania viti mbalimbali katika maandalizi yetu ya mwaka ujao ya August 2027, na kumekuwa na Wakenya wengi wawaniaji wengi wa viti tofauti katika taifa la Kenya ambao wamewasiliana na chama, wamewasiliana na viongozi wa chama, na tumesema kwa ajili ya kuhakikisha tumeanza kuleta vuguvugu la hawa wawaniaji wa hivi viti tofauti, tutaanzisha platform ama forum ambayo tutaita UDA Aspirants Forum, ambapo itawajumlisha wote wale ambao wanawania viti tofauti kutoka ugavana hadi members of the county assembly, ambao pia utakuwa na kikao chao kwa vile tunajua katika hao ndio watakuwa viongozi watakaoibuka katika uchaguzi unaokuja. Tutakuwa na kikao na rais ambaye ni mkuu wa chama tarehe 4 Februari mwezi ujao, vile katika ikulu kuanzia saa 2. Kwa hivyo tunawahimiza wote, tunawahamasisha wote ambao wako na azma kutetea viti tofauti kupitia chama ambacho ndio maarufu kabisa ndani ya Kenya na kimejipanga zaidi kupitia UDA waweze kwenda katika hiyo mtandao wetu. Kutakuwa na portal hapo ya usajili ili waweze kujiandikisha kama wagombea kupitia chama cha UDA mwaka wa 27 ama next year. Imani Shungwa.
Thank you, Manu. Just to add first that we are very happy that in spite of the many disputes that were presented before the Disputes Tribunal, the Tribunal and the National Elections Board were very magnanimous to make sure that we are accommodative of all interest groups and stakeholders in the party. And that is why NEC and the National Steering Management Committee, under the able leadership of the President, we resolved yesterday that it is only fair that we accord all those who have expressed interest to run for elected positions at the grassroots level an opportunity to do that through the repeat elections in the select polling stations that had disputes. Two, is to state that our party, being a very accommodative and all-inclusive party, one where we do not want to leave anyone behind, we also resolved that we need to give all our members in the National Governing Council, that is all our elected leaders, a midterm report on the implementation of our manifesto. You will remember that we have stated before that under the able leadership of President Ruto and in our implementation of the plan, which was our manifesto, we did indicate that we would implement this plan, comma to full stop, paragraph by paragraph, and page to page. And those who have been very keen will see that all the government programs that we are rolling out, whether it is rollout of the infrastructure fund, all these are things that were in our manifesto. And therefore, we want to update our leaders right from the grassroots in terms of our MCAs all the way to governors on where we are on the implementation of this plan. Two, as I said, being an inclusive party, we want to make sure that all our leaders and all our party organs are involved in the process that we did mandate the party leader under the NEC organ, mandated him to engage with ODM in structured negotiations to make sure that as we go to the 2027 elections, we have a party, one that has proper governance structures and whose mandate comes from the people, right from the grassroots. And two, that as we strongly believe, this party, the Kenya Kwanza Coalition, is a party that is forming government after next year's elections. But we have invited our colleagues in ODM under the broad-based government. We have had a very good working arrangement with them. We have listened to them as they engaged in their National Steering Committee meeting and the resolutions that they have passed as a party. And we welcome and accommodate what they have said. And that is why we mandated the party leader to constructively engage with them. And we want to take that decision now from NEC to the next party organ, which is the NGC. And we will be taking that to the NGC on Monday next week under the chairmanship of the President, State House on Monday. As I said, we don't want to leave anyone behind. Many of the people who have lodged complaints regarding our grassroots elections are thousands. In fact, I must commend the National Elections Board and the Disputes Resolution Tribunal for the many hours that they have put in to try and resolve many of these disputes. And many of those disputes were lodged by leaders who aspire to run for either MCA, governor, members of parliament seats, and including two who have also expressed interest to run on UDA for the position of president. And therefore, all those people, we do not want anybody to feel that they are being left behind, and that is why we resolved that as early as now, we want to register all of them so that those who have interest in running for positions on UDA and Kenya Kwanza can register, and we will engage with them again under the leadership of the party leader the other Monday, as has been mentioned in this communique. Na asanteni sana.
So to provide clarity on what exactly the UDA party is trying to achieve is that it is our desire to have an elected party official at each of the 27,277 polling centers across the country. We know it's a big desire, but we are bullish about it. Remember, the UDA party is a record-setting political party. We are the only political party post the new constitution that has at least an elected official in 41 out of 47 counties. We want to grow that number. It is our desire that in 2027, we shall have an elected official, either an MCA, member of parliament, governor, in each of our 47 county governments. And the only way that you can achieve that is by having party officials at the grassroots. And that's why We are doing this exercise quite meticulously. It is a big ask for the National Election Board and the various members that are involved in this exercise. But we believe that if you want to offer a good product to the Republic, then you have to do it right. And this is the only way. We appreciate that up to this far, members of our party have participated quite actively. There have been all the complaints that have been raised, and we believe we are getting it better. We did phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Now we are going for phase 4 on the 7th of March and phase 5 on the 28th of March. We believe in each of those sessions we shall be getting better at it, so that at the end of it, on the 28th of March in the evening, UDA as a party will have polling center officials in all the 27,277 polling centers across the country. No other party has ever done that, but we believe we can do it because that's who we are. Last thing that I want to say is that we appreciate the partnership that we have set out so far, going to 2 years now, with our partners, the ODM party and the affiliates parties of the Kenya Kwanza coalition. But we must prepare for the next phase of elections. And this is the time, because you know that in a little bit of slightly over a year, we shall be having party primaries, then subsequently the general elections in August of next year. And that's why we are setting this aspirants forum, so that anybody who wants to run for any position that is available within using the UDA political party has an opportunity to be had. And that is a forum that is being provided on the 4th of February 2026 at State House, Nairobi. So thank you very much. We wish you well.
So we'll take a very few questions if there are any. Yeah. That's one. Number two, that will be fielded by Kimani and Aaron. Yeah.
Chris Owino from Movie TV. Still on the matter of that UDA election part. Will this mean that the other Kenya Kwanza coalition of affiliate parties will sign a new or fresh agreement with UDA, or they'll be left behind?
That will be fielded by the chair. And the last one? That's it. Okay.
So just to respond is that, you know, negotiations are negotiations. You go with what you feel is rightfully yours, and the other parties also will come. The 10-point agenda has given us a basis for working with the ODM. We have achieved some of the proposals that were made therein. In fact, if I'm not wrong, this afternoon, the committee on the implementation of the 10-point agenda has actually a meeting with the party leader of the UDA party and the leader of the Kenya Kwanza coalition to bring him up to speed on what has been achieved so far and what is still pending. So that has given us the foundation, the place to start. But we believe that there is more that we can achieve if we build on that particular foundation. Therefore, it is not a separate arrangement. It is building on what already has been achieved on the 10-point agenda alongside other things.
Sir Kimani.
I think there's nothing more important to add, Tenges, on the 10-point agenda. As my colleague has said, this afternoon, indeed, that committee will be briefing His Excellency the President. I had an engagement myself with them last December. I think they also met with the leader of the Senate. They met with the leader of the minority in the Senate and the leader of minority in the National Assembly. And therefore, we're on course on the implementation of the 10-point agenda. And they will be briefing the President this afternoon on where they are in terms of that. But our engagements with our colleagues and brothers in ODM go beyond the 10-point agenda. As I mentioned, it is our intent to be an all-inclusive party and coalition that brings everybody on board and all Kenyans on board. And therefore, we look forward to working with ODM even into the next elections next year. Therefore, the engagements that we will have with them and the negotiations we have mandated the President to engage them on go beyond the 10-point agenda into an arrangement on how we get into the 2027 elections, forming the government that I said we are very confident, since we have a clear vision, clear agenda on what we want to implement for the people of Kenya. That is why we are confident, even as we come together to brief our members and the country on where we are in implementation of the agenda or of the plan.
Says we can.
As this negotiation goes on, I think it's important to say that the pacts that we have with our partners within the larger Kenya Kwanza coalition remain intact and very valid. We cannot go to look for new partners and lose the old ones. And I think the president has been very clear on the need to unite the nation. And so in that effort, we are reaching out to everybody. So let it be known that the Kenya Kwanza partners remain the partners of UDA and very important partners, and that nothing will change. And as we move on towards the general election, I'm sure we are going to see a lot happening towards that unification process, and we are very committed. And it's important also, I say, that the UDA party has worked very hard to facilitate the committee that oversights the implementation of the 10-point agenda. And so we are not just involved at the executive level, but also as a party, we are monitoring on a day-to-day to ensure that we stay true to the 10-point agenda, because our unity, our coalition, our partnership must be based on real issues that affect Kenyans and not just, people coming together for the sake of it. So thank you very much. May I say that the National Elections Board, it's important to say that the National Governing Council on Monday will also include members elected on the ANC party that merged with UDA. They'll be part of our meeting on Monday. And then let me also, and the friends of the party, we have observers, we also have some members at the National Assembly, the county assemblies who are part of the Kenya Kwanza. They'll also come as observers to that meeting on Monday. And then let me end by saying that the National Elections Board will give a detailed program of activities towards the grassroots elections by close of the day tomorrow on what will happen on the 7th and the activities that must happen before the 7th and what will happen on 28th and the activities that must happen before the 28th. We want UDA party to be the one party that has a wide reach across the entire nation. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. Asante.
Asanteni sana.
Kochoto ko ofisek cheechen chebo chamaitab UDA kondochin sirindet neo Hassan Omar koboto nebo ng'echeret Cecil Mbarire ak majority leader eng bunge tuwai noto nebo Senate ak National Assembly noto ko Aaron Cheruyot nebo Senate ak inendet Kimani Ichung'wah noto nebo National Assembly ole kakoaror akobo tuguk cheterter mising ko ng'alalutik chetesetai eng kwenutab chamaitab UDA ak chamaitab ODM ole tokchingei ichek kowo ng'alalutik chotok asikoityi koshinet nebo kobois eng kibagenge eng chopchinetab gei nebo lewenishet neo nekiyoe eng kenyitab 2027. Kakong'alale ichek kora akobo koyonchinet noto nebo 10-point agenda noto kiityi kandoindet neki kandoindet noto nebo chamaitab ODM Raila Odinga ak President William Ruto ole kamwa kole ng'alalutik choto tesetai eng chamait noto nebo eng kwenutab UDA ak ODM kotobeni mising akobo koyonchinet noto bo 10-point agenda ole eng kasarata ko ng'alale akobo tetutik choto chebo chamaitab UDA cheboto lewenishet noto kiyoe eng komoswek chebo gaa anan grassroots elections ole kamwa kole tesetai lewenishonotok ole kamwa kole eng polling stations tugul eng emet ko matun kotindoi ofisayat noto nebo chamaitab UDA nekileweni ole tesetai tetutik ak kowonge lewenishonoto bo chama eng tarik 28 arawetab somok kenyini. Ko ngebe kamung'et kitigin asiyekewege ketestai ak tetutiet nebo Kass Mashinani.
kicking your year off in all her glory. With more, because we've got you. You get it. We got kicks. We got scores. We got action. We got roars.
It's my specialty.
We got drama. We got fun. We got more for everyone. With an upgrade on us, just for you. More channels, more shows, more reasons to stay.
We got you.
DSTV, we got you all the way.
Say yes to a box full of what you love only on your StarTimes decoder. Recharge your monthly subscription today. Dial *858# for self-service. Stay connected for heartwarming stories to edge of your seat action.
Bravo 4, this is Dragon 26.
There's something for every mood, every moment, every kind of love. Because love isn't one thing. It's everything you enjoy together. Renew your subscription and unwrap endless entertainment. Download the StarTimes On app to enjoy all your favorite shows and stream live channels on the move. StarTimes. Enjoy digital life.
Uko ready kuwa entertain? GoTV inakupa more shows. Juu wewe ni wetu.
That's right.
More movies.
Yes.
Jackpot. More cartoons za watoi.
Of course.
Na more futa.
No doubt about it.
Habari ndio hiyo. Tunakupatia more.
Girl, that is so true.
Exactly. Lipia package yako tuko upgrade to the next package on us.
Yes.
That's good to know.
Atochin kokeny ketestai ak tetutiet nebo Kass Mashinani ole tagetesetai kekere akobo logoiwek chetesetai eng komoswek cheterter chebo emet ole kibendi akoi kapkirwok ole tesetai eng betut nebo let interviews nebo kirwokik chemoche koek kirwokik chebo kapkirwok nebo Court of Appeal ole nekitepsen eng nguno ko Justice Lucy Mugwa nemoche akine koek kirwokindet nebo Court of Appeal ole tesetai kibagengeinoto nebo Judicial Service Commission kotepse inendet asikenai angot konyolu kikochi boroinoto bo koek kirwokindet nebo Court of Appeal ko ngebe eng oret agenge akoi kebeberta nebo kapkirwok eng interviews choto bo let cheindochin Judicial Service Commission asikekas kit netesetai.
Any other?
I believe there's also the extradition laws, which are two. One, the extradition.
No, enforcement of judgments.
Enforcement of judgment. Commissioner, I'm only aware of that one.
What are the circumstances under which a foreign judgment may not be recognized and or enforced in Kenya?
Thank you, Commissioner. Such a foreign judgment will not be recognized if, in the first place, the tribunal or court which gave that judgment had no mandate to do that. Secondly, if in that tribunal the person who is affected was not given notice to appear before that tribunal. Thirdly, if the laws of that other country are inconsistent with ours, they are not in tandem with our laws.
I appreciate. Now let's go back to employment law. A teacher has sued the Teacher Service Commission for unlawful termination of his employment contract on the ground that the disciplinary procedure leading to his dismissal from service did not comply with the rules of natural justice. Assuming that the teacher or the applicant herein had established that his or her dismissal was unlawful, would he be entitled to orders of judicial review? And if your answer is yes or no, please give us reasons why.
Commissioner, may I request that you repeat again kindly?
A teacher has sued the TSC for unlawful termination of his employment contract on the ground that the disciplinary procedure leading to his dismissal from service did not comply with the rules of natural justice. Yes?
Yes.
Assuming that the teacher had established that his dismissal was unlawful before the court, would he or she be entitled to orders of judicial review?
Thank you, Commissioner. The fallback is Article 47 of the Constitution, which is the captures the issue of fair hearing, and in that regard, the judicial review scope has been expanded in the new Constitution, and in that regard, the decision of the Teacher Service Commission can be a subject of those proceedings. And if it is found that the rules of natural justice were violated, then those orders of judicial review will be awarded in terms of Article 23 of the Constitution.
Recently, the Court of Appeal touched on this matter and decided that employer-employee relationships are matters of private law and not public law. And if that is true, what would be the best remedy for an employee who has been dismissed from service?
Thank you, Commissioner.
First and foremost, do you agree that matters of employer-employee relationship are private law and are not public law?
I would say that they are private law, but again, I would say that the Constitution requires everyone to embrace the rights and fundamental freedoms set out in the Constitution.
So if they are private law, would judicial review be appropriate?
I think judicial review would still be appropriate because it's one of the orders that can be given under Article 23.
Okay, let me ask it this way. The legality or otherwise of termination of contracts of employment that have no statutory underpinning are matters of private law or public law?
The legality?
The legality of contracts or termination of contracts that have no statutory underpinning.
Those are private laws.
So when we talk about employer-employee?
It is actually in the habit of private environment.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chief Justice. Judge, a few questions from me. First, you've been asked about the advisory opinions, and you rightly said advisory opinion number 2, that was in respect of the National Land Commission. How are advisory opinions enforced?
Thank you, Commissioner. The advisory opinions are enforced direct to the Supreme Court, but only by state agencies on matters that relate to county governments.
You may not have understood my question, Judge. You know, when it comes to a judgment of a court, like for instance a judgment from your court, there is a way in which it is enforced. Yes?
Yes.
How would that judgment of your court be enforced?
Those advisory opinions given by the Supreme Court, they are binding, just like any other decisions of that court. So whatever is stated in the body of the judgment has to be implemented by the various entities.
All right, I'll take that, but I was wanting you to say they are authoritative, and hence, you know, they must be obeyed.
Yes, they have to. That's why I've said they are binding.
Okay, right. Now, how long have you been in the Land and Environment Court?
9 years. This is my 10th year.
Yes. So I'm sure in terms of experience in that area of the law, you're actually quite experienced. Now, the Land Control Board Act, and in particular Section 6, did make it mandatory that, or still it's mandatory that if you're seeking consent of the Land Control Board, you must do so within a period of six months in respect of a sale, lease, any transaction touching on agricultural land. Why do you think this provision was put into the statute?
Thank you, Commissioner. The statute, quite an old statute, came into force for purposes of ensuring that land is used in an equitable manner. It's managed well to prevent subdivision.
Remember, yes.
Yes.
Don't talk about the entire act.
Yes.
I want us to confine ourselves to Section 6. Yes.
Oh, yes.
That requires that you must seek consent of the Land Control Board in respect of any transaction touching on agricultural land.
To prevent subdivision of agricultural land into very small portions.
That's very correct.
Yes.
That's one. Another one?
And to prevent people from being disinherited.
Again, that is very correct.
Yes.
I'm looking for the final one.
I need to relook at the act, Commissioner.
Right. Was it also important that we needed to control sale of land to non-Kenyans?
Yes.
All right, so that was the third one.
Okay.
And I appreciate the fact that you say this is indeed a very old statute. So the three things that we've now talked about, the first one, to avoid subdivision into an economical units.
Yes.
Has this provision served its purpose in your own view?
In my own view, Commissioner, I don't think the Act has served the purpose.
No, we are talking about Section 6. I'm not talking about... Even if it was to declare this Act unconstitutional,
yes.
I think we would be looking at specific provisions, but not maybe the entire Act. I don't want to go that route. I'm just confining myself to Section 6.
I can answer this way. That section has been very problematic because it has been misused.
No, I'm not even going there.
Yes.
I'm just saying, you rightly told us that the reason why that section is there is, one, to avoid subdivision into an economical units.
Yes.
Yes? And the question, and then you have there are two other reasons. So the question is, has this section served the intended purpose in your own view?
In my own view, Commissioner, it has not. Land has continued to be subdivided
into even smaller units?
40 by 60 pieces of
right.
land.
And stoppage of unchecked land sales?
That still continues, the unchecked, so it has still not served that purpose.
Is there any provision of the law that has come into existence that has checked land sales?
I would say the courts are, I'm aware the courts are the ones who have come in to tamper or tinker with that section to ensure that justice is done.
What about the provisions that says that a man cannot sell land unless his wife has given consent?
Yes, that one.
Yeah?
Yes.
That is under what provisions of, under what law?
I'm aware section 70, I think 79 of the Matrimonial Properties Act.
Is that the one that says you must get the consent of your spouse?
Section 79 of the Land Act.
There's a huge difference between matrimonial act.
Yes, it's the Land Act.
All right.
Yes.
And the third one to control land holding by non-Kenyans. Is there any provision of the law that has taken care of this?
Yeah, there is the Constitution. At least the Constitution says that you can only, the foreigners can only acquire a leasehold interest.
So the purposes for which this section was put in place is no longer there.
It's no longer there, Commissioner.
All right.
To some extent.
Thank you. Thank you.
Chief Justice, just one follow-up from what Justice Sichalo was asking on the issue of spousal consent.
Yes.
You said it was section?
I'm thinking it's section 79 of the Land Act.
Okay.
Yes.
So what happens if a man is polygamous? How does he get spousal consent?
Ideally, all those spouses ought to give consent. But on the ground, what happens is that usually the man gets the consent from the spouse he likes most.
and what if the transaction is challenged? Say a man has 2 or 3 wives,
Yes.
and one has given spousal consent, and the 2 others have not,
Yes.
and they challenge that transaction
Yes.
based on the 2. Would that vitiate the transaction?
Commissioner, I think there would be a problem because the spouse who gave consent is at par with the other colleagues in that polygamous home. So the others ought to have been consulted, and so there may be a problem.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Am I correct in reading your CV, seeing that you are part of the committee that launched the Adi Sasa platform?
Yes.
Yes. So what was the purpose of the Adi Sasa platform, if you can tell us, share with us, and what challenges are you facing? Is it actually helping?
My association with the Adi Sasa platform came about by me being a chair of the interministerial committee on the setting up of the Adi case registry. That is how I came to interact with the Adi Sasa platform. It is helping a lot because documents, the sanctity of documents now can be ascertained because they are scanned and they are kept in a safe place, which I have even seen through that committee. So going forward, this is going to help if it's rolled countrywide.
Okay, thank you. When it comes to matters of land, which Supreme Court jurisprudence have you found useful on the issues of land, and have you applied any in your day-to-day work in court?
Thank you, Commissioner. The recent jurisprudence from the Supreme Court, I have found them very useful. That is dinner management and Torino, because they do justice and they go to the heart of the dispute, capturing the root of the title. Because we know that land issues in Kenya are very emotive, and fraudsters took advantage of the fact that for many years people just trusted the document of title, and so fraudsters used that jurisprudence to do land grabbing right, left and center. So those decisions are very useful, and I've used them even in some of the decisions I have submitted in this commission.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Good afternoon once again, my lady.
Good afternoon.
Okay, I've gone through your sample writings. They demonstrate strong grasp of law. You carefully identify issues and give coherent reasoning. Across all the sample writings, you exhibit high level of analytical rigor. The reasoning is evidence-based, measured, and firmly anchored in statute, constitutional provision, precedent, with clear insistence of proof. I would place you as your work around purposive and contextual interpretative policy, philosophy. Maybe you can tell us whether that's factual or not, especially in cases involving public land and surrender of land to public utilities, community land adjudication, and administration of administrative processes. You balance fidelity to the law with substantive justice, demonstrating sensitivity to public interest, historical land injustice, constitutional competence, and constitutional values. I would cite the example of the Giraffe View Estate Limited matter that involved the sanctity of public land. You went beyond routine application of the law in terms of developing jurisprudence, but you reinforced the place of active case management to curb abuse of the court process. So good job, Judge. So I'll ask you a question with regards to community land. Section 30 of the Community Land Act prohibits discrimination. Subsection 5 of that provision grants automatic community membership to a spouse of a community member. So there is positive and inclusive entry of a spouse once you get married into a community. However, the membership ends upon legal divorce, but for women, when that divorce, when you remarry upon divorce, or when you remarry upon the death of your spouse, you lose your community entitlement. Is this provision problematic? If yes, why? And maybe you can make reference to any constitutional or legal provision.
Thank you, Commissioner. I've said that the Constitution of Kenya prohibits discrimination, and we have Article 27 of the Constitution that factors in the notion of equality. I had an occasion to participate in the review of the National Land Policy, and that was one of the sections that we were interrogating because we found that it was actually discriminative. Okay. Yes.
I'm satisfied with the response. Thank you and all the best. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon.
Yes, in your introductory remarks, you mentioned that you are part of a committee that was dealing with case management in criminal cases.
Yes.
Was that under the auspices of the NCAJ?
Yes, it was.
Okay. So what is the overriding objective of case management in criminal cases, and how do you go about achieving that?
It's just basically expeditious trials in criminal cases, because for many years the criminal cases were bogged down by processes called mentions, kuitika, and they would just drag on forever, and then the small cases or minor cases were mixed with the big cases, such that even if you had a case which is not complex, you would still be in the system for ages because the courts are handling the bigger cases. So in that active case management processes, we have been screening so that the minor cases are dealt with expeditiously, and the complex cases are also dealt with expeditiously without each one affecting the other. We're also dealing with issues of guilty pleas, so that the preparation on guilty pleas is undertaken so that people don't lose their liberty when they come to take pleas. The prosecution is supposed to be prepared. People take plea, they are not put in custody, they pay fines, and they leave. And the final one centered on preparation of the trial. That is the hallmark of that committee, to ensure that the trials are made trial ready. There is proper preparation, exchange of documents, and all other preliminary issues are dealt with before the trial.
Okay, that is correct, but it speaks only to one aspect of the objectives,
yes,
according to what your committee came up with, that is expeditious disposal of criminal cases. But there was the other aspect also, if maybe you can share with us.
We incorporated all these other things when now we started working in the committee.
Yes, the other aspect is just determination of criminal cases,
Yes,
and
yes.
you also had some guidelines on how you go about achieving that.
Yes.
So it is just and expeditious.
Yes, just and
Yes.
expeditious.
So what about the justice aspect of it?
The justice aspect is ensuring that justice is achieved through the shortest but fairest route. Yes.
Okay. So I have your performance report here from DISPOP. I don't know if you've been served with a copy.
I have seen a copy.
Yes, and you're happy with it?
And not really.
What is making you unhappy?
Because I found that the rulings which don't close the cases are not incorporated in the merit production.
Yes, they normally don't add those to to merit resolution, because merit resolution takes into account the finalized matters.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so, but though it's captured, they do capture the rulings that you've delivered that didn't close the cases.
Yes.
So is that the only thing you're not happy about in the report?
It's the only thing.
Okay, so now the report I have here indicates that out of the expected percentage, or the expected merit resolution, you expected to have concluded 27, but you only had 20 in the period between 2025, or rather financial year 2025-2026, but the period is between July and September 2025. I see you are a single judge in your station, but you have not met the performance targets according to the report that I have. What would you say about that?
Thank you, Commissioner. I can attribute.
Ko choto ko interviews chetesetai eng betut nebo let nebo biik chemache koek kirwogik chebo kapkirwok nebo Court of Appeal. Ole bichuto kitepsen ko kirwogik, boisie nguno ko kirwogik chebo High Court ole mache ichek kobois eng kapkirwok nebo Court of Appeal. Ole netesetai kibengeitab Judicial Service Commission kotepsen ko Lady Justice Lucy Mbugwa. Ole eng tai ko kaek netai ketepse eng betutab raini Justice Samson Okongo. Ole biik alak chemokoi ketepse eng betutab raini ko Lady Justice Edwick Ongunde, Justice Joseph Kiblagat Sergon ak Justice Munyao Sila chekitepsen eng betut nebo let nebo interviews choto bo kirwogik chemache koek kirwogik chebo kapkirwok nebo Court of Appeal. Ko yekiker logoiwek alak ko eng kasarta nekotoi kampunitab mwanik nebo Kenya Pipeline Company aldaetab shares chechik cheite kebeberta 65 eng bokol, ko kakobarasta kampuninotok kole chenge ortinwek alak chenyorunen rabinik cheite bilion 106. Kosub ak Managing Director nebo Kenya Pipeline Joe Sang ko eng strategic plan nenywa kotete kotoi ortinwek chelelach kampuninoto chebo chobetab mwanik asikonyor rabinik ak kotoret serikali eng tetutik chebo bandab tai. Ko kinyoru kaaroretab logoiwechotok eng koindo kobun sirindenyo Samson Kurgat.
Kamwa Joe Sang kole kokonam konyor kastomaek cheboisie laindanywa nebo mwanik eng letaetab fiber.
We are on a very ambitious strategy in terms of diversification. We are looking to diversify into our revenue streams. I know Ken talked about the fiber optic. We are now in the process of lighting it. Lighting it means you are putting it active equipment. Today, in the 1,342 kilometers of pipeline, we have what we call the dark fiber. We have the telcos, mainly Safaricom, MTN, Jamii Telecom. Those are our customers today. By lighting it, that is giving it active equipment, we'll be able to get even more telcos come on board and take it to the last mile. So we are looking at by 2030, in the next 5 years, in our strategic plan, about 10 to 12% of our revenue will be coming from the fiber optic. And another close to about 8% will come from the LPG business, which is what we call the transition fuels, as well as the LNG.
Kate CEO kole wendi kora kotau chobetab mwanik kobun minutik chenootin ko biofuel.
We also want to optimize our subsidiary, which is Kenya Petroleum Refineries, in bringing in things like the biorefinery, the biofuels. These are other forms of energy that we'll be bringing on board in order to mitigate the risk we've called out. So as a business, we are very, very optimistic that the future is bright.
Shares cheite 85 eng bogol chekealdochin chemung'arainik ak biikab boror eng oret agenge nenyorune serikali rabisiek cheyoe boisionikab kamanut ako asi makites aisurushek.
The shareholder who's selling, that is the National Treasury, has made it very clear that this is how we intend to use those proceeds for development purposes, prioritizing infrastructure. They talked about road, airports, etc., irrigation, projects. We are avoiding a situation where we're taxing Kenyans more. By raising actually these non-tax, non-debt revenue measures, it means we're sealing and containing the debt that is again going to benefit indirectly.
Ngetchin serikali shares chebo kaitoshek 35 eng bogol nganda una ko kacher biikab boror koal shares choto ako matkosich kaiweisiet age tugul ako asikonam mogornatetab kampunit noto.
The policy objective of this particular exercise is to make sure that this asset is owned by Kenyans. We educate Kenyans about the opportunity that stands before them, meeting, this historical moment to actually take ownership of KPC and enjoy future dividends that will accrue out of this particular exercise. National asset being shared with Kenyan, beyond that conversation, we're seeing improved efficiencies at KPC benefiting Kenyans. And if you think about it, operationally, that would mean we'll see faster decision making at the company level, which would mean also, greater operational efficiency for KPC.
Kakwautiet nebo aldaetab shares chebo Kenya Pipeline ko kokinam eng betutab amut ako tetat koit let eng tarik 19 arawetab oeng kenyini ako imong'u serikali konyor rabisiek cheite bilion 106. Aripotenchini Kass logoiwekab emet eng county nebo Nairobi. Kainenyu ko Samson Kurgat.
Yekiker logoiwek alak chetesetai eng emet ko kakondochi President William Ruto igorta noto nebo kokoitoetab konunoik chenootin ko President's Gold Award koityi neranik chemengechen cheboto kipsomaninik. Katestai igoratak eng State House Nairobi ole kanyor konunoik cheterter neranik cheite 1,252 ole kong'ololi igoratak komwa Ruto kole indene tai serikalinyi magutik chebo neranik chemengechen asi kobit kotoret eng kokimitetab bandab tai amu icheget kotakotindoi kimnatet noto nebo koyai boisionik chekanaptoi bandab tai eng emet. Ko ngeker akekas akobo ng'alalet noto kakon president eng igorata bo President's Gold Award nekatestai eng State House Nairobi.
When I articulated our ambitious vision to elevate Kenya to a first world status within our lifetime, I did so with absolute confidence in the extraordinary potential of the young people of our nation. I am confident that our youth possess the capability, the energy, the talent, and the resolve to turn our grand ambition into reality. As I have said before, and I say it again today, with conviction, Kenya's youth rank among the very best in the world in terms of our human capital development. You have the skills, you have the aptitude, the competence, and the expertise to excel wherever duty calls, whether here at home or in the global stage. It is for this reason that I am especially pleased to welcome you to this year's Gold Award presentation under the President's Award Kenya. As patron, I am deeply honored to stand with you to celebrate the extraordinary milestones in the lives of these young men and women, the recipients of the Gold Award. Listening to young Munyikai here, and he talked about a place called Jaribuni. And I've had the privilege to visit Jaribuni. And just for your information, Mwenyikai, the hospital you talked about, Mbudzi, right? That facility. A few years ago, I came to lay the foundation for that hospital. And I heard you talk about the dusty road and the environmental situation that was presented by that dusty road. Again, I had the privilege last year to come and commission the tarmacking of that dust road. And it speaks to what Kenya is. I never imagined that a young man from that part of Kenya, Jaribuni, would be in State House today. That tells me that there is tremendous potential in every young person, irrespective of where they come from, their station in life. All that matters is your determination, your commitment, and the effort you put in. I have said that as we celebrate this moment today, we are giving more than a word. We are recognizing effort, we are celebrating sacrifice and grit. We are celebrating young Kenyans who stayed the course when it seemed insurmountable, who showed up when it would have been easier to walk away, and who chose to do the right thing when no one was watching. As I listened to Amani and her incredible statement, I could see the talent and the wealth of Kenya's young people and what they can present. Ladies and gentlemen, the theme of today's ceremony, shaping young people's character and encouraging purposeful volunteerism, it goes to the very core of what the President's Award stands for. It reminds us that education does not end in the classroom, and that knowledge alone is not enough. In fact, it is correct to say that education is not about examination and classrooms. It's more about character and impact. What ultimately matters is the character we build, the values we uphold, and the willingness to serve what is greater than ourselves. One of the most tangible ways to demonstrate character is through service to others. Volunteerism is a powerful act, is a powerful act of hope and support. Purposeful volunteerism involves recognizing that you are a part of something bigger than yourself. It means understanding that your abilities and talents should be shared, and that your community's well-being is tied to your own.
Konoto President William Ruto ne katestai kong'ololi eng igorta noton nebo kokoitoetab konunotiot noton bunu President ne naat ko President Gold Award koityi neranik ak biik alak chemengechen cheboto kipsomaninik cheite 1252 ole kosubkei ak Ruto kobo komonut neranik ak kounoto koipchin serikali anan inendet tai magutik choto chebo neranik amu toreti icheget eng tetutik chebo kanaptaetab bandab tai eng emet. Kokibendi kamung'et nemining asiyekiwege kenyoru logoiwekab emet kong'ete Kass TV.
Kenya Twende Mbele. NCBA. Go for it.
Kimitei agobo inye ago kimita siginetkei kibaibaitgei ak inoisechigei tuguk cheterter chetesetai eng emetab Kenya ak emotinwek chebo sang. Inyorwech eng DSTV channel 266, Zuku channel 19, GoTV channel 099, Star Times channel 164, Pang eng free to air, Bamba free to air, Azam channel 336 koboto online streaming eng www.kasstv.co.ke.
Kotitinye ng'oliot age tugul kotinygei ak tetutik chok, sirwech sirutiet en oretab email konyo info@kassfm.co.ke anan ko SMS en namba 55552 anan ko 30552 ak imwawech kit nechome ak nemechome.
Kass TV, kimnotet.
Love carried them through time. And betrayal staring their lives apart. Turning what's sweet to sour.
Nimekuja kudai haki yangu.
Lazizi Season 1, Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. on Maisha Magic Plus, DSTV channel 163 and GoTV channel 3.
Get Africa's best entertainment anytime, anywhere, and now for even less.
Here's what we're here for, duh.
With DSTV Stream and Safaricom Home Fiber.
Wow.
Just dial *400# then 0 to choose this DSTV offer. Select your Safaricom Home Fiber account and the DSTV Stream package you want now at a discounted price. Then select your home fiber plan, confirm payment, pay using your M-Pesa PIN, and click on the link received to sign in to your new DSTV Stream account.
Simple.
Then enjoy the best movies, series, and sport in Africa at its best price ever. Only with DSTV Stream and Safaricom Home Fiber. T's and C's apply.
Kwatochin eng logoiwekab emet kong'ete Kass TV ne somanun kwane Bernard Tanoe. Kitaune kebeberta nebo Bomet ole tesetai serikali ak kasuldaetab tetutik chebo ibunetab walet eng sekta nebo chaik asikonyor melekto neo kabatikab chaik eng emoni. Kosubkei ak sirindet neo nebo kabatisiet Dr. Paul Rono konyoru melekwokik chemite ng'weny kabatik ak unoto koborchingei serikali kobun ministry nebo kabatisiet koker kole kakitoret kabatik konyor melekto neo asikonyor keljin akoboiboichi kabatisienywa. Akot kounoto kocher Dr. Rono kabatik choto chebo chaik kochopchigei kasarta nebo kolset nenyonei asikobit koker kole ka isulda boisionik choto chebo kabatisiet ako tesetai serikali kora koruptoi mbolea koityi kabatik chotok ak kounoto konyolu eng kabatik kochobogis eng kasarta nebo kolset. Kokinyoru report notok eng koindo kobun sirindenyo eng kebeberta nebo Bomet Festus Rono.
Koimongei nerananotok kekure Abel Kiplagat nenat eng kainet ake ko Rospela nebo Jeiso akotoroch ketit eng taonitab Nandi Hills eng kasarta nebo betusiek 3. Oboru ine kaimetabkei kotinygei ak kabokyinet nekibokyi askarikab RDU meng'ikab taonitab Nandi Hills kosubkei ak amune netomo kenai.
Kiyai makoset bichotok kobwa amu ingobwoni kokatuchkei kokortokochi kole sasa nguni makoi nai ak inyokomisan neranikchok kopirobir koumisan nimeanat kabisa. Sasa koamang'u akamang'u kwa senge Rospela nebo Jeiso akale awendi baturochi ketit betusiek 72 hours. Bitu ake amu kiamwochi biik ing Nandil yoto mi ketit aturochi ketit. Ko ki betunoto kimi angot MP Honorable Bernard Kitur ko ikanyo yoto alechi bichu ngonyone Bernard Kitur rani alechi roboni betunoto nyikounda tengekwokik chikei bichoto ak alechi in kamuktaindet kongo ingetonik chatoroch.
Kotoroch ine ketit eng saisiek choto 72 anan 72 hours nenato ko betusiek 3 nemakitwaekei ole kamwa ine kole koui kot mising nito.
Kwatoroch ketit eng betusiek choto 3 betut netai kiek challenge nea maraisi anyun ng'oliondo noto kwae koui mami kotyem lakwa nebo chi amu kiek challenge ane betut netai ingotou betut noto tai bas ko kwanyinyito ko mahali kole ako karibu saa 7 kemboyo. Lakini indaro keribo anyun amu kasit niton kiyoe komi security mi kila kitu makoi inuchi mewechigei metorechigei meyache no ming'ino meyache nao amakindo kimoet asira mamondoi kinyo kit kityo neboisie kit neboisie kityo ko glucose ak beek.
Kosubkei ak alak eng meng'ikab Nandi Hills komanyal yautyonoto kiyai askarichoto bo RDU ole nyolu kekoch biikab emet boroindo koyai boisionik eng saisiek tugul.
Meche amwochi polisiek chotok alechi pool is a game netesetai akot sai komite Olympics. So makimeche ng'alek chebo primitivity chebwone biik ak nyikobirech bila sababu.
Taonit ninyo nem Nandi Hills ni kokomeketinyegei shida ak police kobate kityo kokitinye shida neo kinyoru ko biikab RTU chekobwa kong'ete emenwa akobwa nyikobiris eng taonit ni. Lakini from today ko kakedilikean kele makemeche ng'alechotok ako yekakokwakan ketit werip kotar ng'alek chik kemeche kele kongoi.
Kasomeche kora kero kele kakikushukong lakwet ne werit eng moet kole chang neranik chewerik chematinye boisionik eng emet.
Na wale viongozi wote ningependa tulete vichwa pamoja kwa sababu ile shida tuko nayo sana ni unemployment kwa vijana wetu. Na ningependa kuambia wale viongozi wenye mko hapa wote kaeni chini, leave alone your differences, tukuje tusaidie vijana wapate kazi na tuweze kuendesha Kenya yetu mbele. Asanteni sana.
Kong'eteke account nebo Nandi logoiwekab emet yebo Kass. Ainenyu ko Nelson Tarbei.
Ko noto ko report noto nebo Nelson Tarbei kotinygei ak neran noto nekotoroch ketit eng kasarta nebo saisiek 72 koboru nereke kotinygei ak yautiet noto kiibokyi asikarik choto chebo RDU akobir neranik eng taonitab Nandi Hills choto kiurereni urerietab pool ole kosubkei ak nerananata kokotil kotoroch ketit eng saisiek choto asikokon kurset eng serikali koker kole kakinam ak keipchi kakwautik chekimen biik anan asikarik chotok kiikoten bichoto kimakotindoi lelut age tugul ole kokotestai kobit kurset eng serikali kobun kandoik ak meng'ikab Nandi Hills koker serikali kole kaib kakwautik akoipchi kakwautik asikarik chotok asikobit imanda. Ko ngeker akobo report noton nekabo sirindenyo Festus Rono kotinygei ak sekta nebo chaik eng emet ole tesetai serikali ak tetutik choto chebo koib walet eng sekta nebo chaik eng emet eng tokyinetab keker kele kakitoret kabatik konyor keljin kobun kabatisieng'wai kosubkei ak sirindet neo nebo ministry noto nebo kabatisiet Dr. Paul Rono kokikotestai kabatik konyor melekto nemitei ng'weny eng kenyisiek chechang ak kounoto kotokyingei walutik chotok kotoret kabatik konyor melekto nemite barak asikoboibochi kabatisienywa kong'ololi Dr. Rono yikongorutechi kebeberwek cheterter eng county noto nebo Bomet konginyoru report noto anyun kobun sirindenyo eng county nebo Bomet Festus Rono.
planning September.
Kongololi en kasarta nekaindochi tuyetab konetisiet nebo temik anan field day en koita chebango en sub county nebo Sotik en county nebo Bomet komwa PS nebo kabatisiet en emoni Dr. Paul Rono kole kikobun uinwek temikab chaik en emoni kosubkei ak kandoinatet nebo KTDA noton tesentai kalititet.
Crown ya majani chai vile siasa inaendelea ndani ya KTDA sio mzuri. Tukapata ya kwamba majani chai imetumika kuwa collateral ya kuchukua loan na majani chai ya mkulima. Hata unachukua loan unalipa mkulima. Pesa ilienda wapi? Ingine tukapata ya kwamba account ya factory, pesa ya kila factory haingii kwa factory account, inaingia kwa general account ya KTDA. Badala ya kuingia kwa factory ili directors of the factory waone exchange rate ngapi, wapatie exact amount ili mkulima apate haki. Lakini inaingia kwa wapi? General account.
Kosubkei PS Rono komawekse let en chikilisiet ak chengetab imanit en sekta nebo chaik asikonyor kelchinoik temik.
Juzi niliandikia barua kuform and kustructure those membership. Wanaanza kuenda kotini, sijui wengine naona wako Kisumu wananisomea, wengine wako huko Central wananisomea, ati PS ameingilia, ati PS atoke, sijui PS anataka siasa. Inasema KTDA shape out of shape. Your time is up. We have 680, almost 800,000 voters, small scale farmers. Now you cannot tell us that government cannot come in to check, verify, and make sure that the farmers get their rightful share in the land.
Kacherono mengikab county nebo Bomet kochopchigei kolsetab kawek ole nyoru keswek kobun serikalitab emoni.
Lakini April walbiri ngoni nguni kibu seedlings ready na une amuni kichukutana 8 months, lakini April tuko ground hapa, kila kichana everybody kama ni mtu ya kawa anza kuchimba mashimo, alafu April tutapeana seedlings uanze kupanda. Yaka zusige April huko mimi siasa kwa kiasi ndio ni ngalo ile siasa mkutano na kuisha kimegele imimbare.
En kasaratak ko kaindochi katataetab katoldoleiwek knuok 35,000 en Sirius nebo Sotik koityi cherongo nebo emoni asikotoret temik.
Vile fertilizers tumekakua na tuko na mbolea mzuri. Tayari tumeleta mbolea ya kutosha kwa hii mwaka. Mbolea imeanza na itakuwa 12.2 million bags. Na tayari karibu milioni 4 imefika Kenya. Na ukienda hapa Sotik utaona malori. Ukienda Bomet malori. Inasafirisha mbolea. Kwa kila siku tuko na malori karibu 200 kwa barabara. Kusafirisha mbolea na mbegu.
En komostanyin komwa MP nebo Sotik Ambassador Francis Gay kole magat kalitetab Kipsonnoi Settlement Scheme asikistoengei uinwek chebune biik chenomu mbarenik choton boisien en kabatisiet.
Kokokisom kele keweben interest chombo settlement scheme, lakini kokemwa kain kele kora matkeweiben choto kotinye loan en koroni kesome head of state kosto tugul sikong'et biikab koroni uruiyo aka kikisto chebo kawek en yuno ako tom kisto chebo yu. So amache imwani president tunganyo koroni amwachini
Kamiten PS Rono koboto county MP nebo Bomet Lindet Chepkorir Toto, nominated Senator Joyce Korir, MP nebo Baringo South Charles Kamuren, ole koikochi PS chemung'arainikab siretab chebole umbrelaishek asikotoret ichek en boisietab mung'aret. Kong'eten county nebo Bomet logoiwekab emet chebo Kass, kainenyun ko Festus Rono.
Ketesetai ko kakokoito kurset minista nebo ripsetab kalyet eng emet orit Kipchumba Murkomen koityi kandoik eng emet komugul kotoret serikali koker kole kaba senior school lagok tugul chebo grade 10 asikotestai somanet eng oret neititaat kong'ololi eng kebeberta nebo Marakwet East eng igorta nebo konoretab bortab nebo MCA nebo Endo Ward Jeremiah Kibiwot komwa Murkomen kole magat kosulda tetutiet noton nebo 100% transition netokchinigei koker kole kaba secondary lagok tugul chotok koyoe grade 10 asikobit kotestai ak somanenywa. Eng kasaratak komwa Murkomen kole tesetai serikali ak kanabtaetab boriet nekitokchin kerichekab bokitet koboto eisetab maiyek ole koketoi kebeberta neinegei nebo police newendi kondochini kirindaetab mung'aranata ole kaitechi biik choto tinyegei ak mung'aranata koistoegei anan kotuiyo ak ng'atutik.
Hatuwezi kusonga mbele na bangi na pombe. And I'm so surprised kwamba nilifikiria bangi ni vitu ya huko town. Nimeshangaa nyinyi mnapanda bangi kwa hapa nyumbani. Na hiyo kwa sababu ya insecurity, ile watu walikuwa wamefungia huko Kerio, walikuwa wanapanda bangi huko, wanaingia huku ndani ya Chepa huko ndani, wanaenda kupanda bangi. Sasa tumesema county commissioner is going to lead security team. Tunataka kumaliza bangi katika Kerio Valley na Elgeyo Marakwet County ishe yote, na ile pombe haramu. Hii pombe inaletwa kutoka Uganda, inapitishwa West Pokot, inafika hapa, inapitishwa Kitale, inafika Iten, inafika Eldoret. Sasa tumekubaliana kwamba kwa directive ya rais tutafanya specialized operation targeting commercial suppliers of adulterated alcohol na distributors first. We want to cut the supply ndio sasa to deal na wale watu wa consumption kwa sehemu hii. Na nakubaliana na governor, rais alitangaza akasema anataka tujenge rehabilitation center moja kwa kila county. Governor ya kwanza na rais akaniambia andikia barua all governors. Governor ya kwanza kujibu barua ni governor ya Elgeyo Marakwet County. Ako ameshanitumia barua yake. Sasa tunapanga na Department of Housing so that we build hiyo rehabilitation center ambayo tunasema kwamba we want to build it so that tusonge mbele kupitia irrigation ambayo itafanywa sehemu hii. Mambo ya masomo ni kitu ya maana sana. Mheshimiwa Rais anaendelea kutusupport kuhakikisha walimu wako katika mashule zetu. Na mimi nawaomba sana ya kwamba sisi wote tuhakikishe there is a full transition wa watoto wetu waende JSS to year 10. Na county commissioner is under our instructions wakifanya kazi na chiefs kuhakikisha kwamba watoto wote wenye wako nyumbani tumetafuta njia yoyote ya kuhakikisha kuna transition kutoka grade 9 to grade 10. Na tumekubaliana na MCAs wote wa Elgeyo Marakwet. Niliambia hawa waende wards zao watafute watoto wenye wako na shida, watoto 10 kwa kila MCA waniletee, nitalipa 10,000 for every child hapo kuhakikisha hao watoto. So MCAs sijapata list yenu na niliwaambia mlete haraka kabla watoto waende nyumbani. Itakuwa njia moja yenye mimi nitasaidia kuhakikisha we mop up watoto wenye ambao wangekuwa nyumbani hapa wange transit waende high school. Na pia we have to build our schools. We must make sure that watoto hao wanaenda hizi shule zetu ambayo tumejenga kwa hapa, ili tuhakikishe ya kwamba also the schools are being built so that we can carry out equitable issues related to education.
Ngeba State House Nairobi ole kaindochi President William Ruto igorta nebo kokoitoetab konunoik chebunu president, konunoik chenotin kou President Gold Award koityi neranik chemengechen cheboto kipsomaninik ole kanyor konunotiondo notok neranik cheite 1,252 kong'ololi eng igorata komwa President Ruto kole indene tai serikalinyi magutik choto chebo neranik amu ichek chetakokimen chetoreti eng kakimitet ak kanabtaetab bandab tai eng emoni. Kongekas akobo ng'alaletab President Ruto.
A student in my final year at St. Austin's Academy in Nairobi. Standing here today as a Gold Award recipient is an honor I do not take lightly, not just because of the certificates we've earned, although that's definitely an added bonus being here today, but because of the journeys behind them. The moments that stretched us, tested us, and pushed us far beyond what we thought we were capable of. Through the award, I've learned that some of the most meaningful lessons don't always happen within classroom walls. Over the adventurous journeys and tiresome hikes that got us to this qualification, I've played the roles of a navigator, a group leader, and a first aider. Roles that called for responsibility, pressure, and came with more than a few wrong turns, but they also taught me how to work with others, how to remain resilient when things don't always go to plan, and perhaps most importantly, how to remain patient, especially when my group was convinced we were somehow reading the map upside down. But the memory that stays with me most is from our residential project in Kajiado County. We built a fence for Lendoko Primary School, a school caught in the middle of a wildlife corridor. For years, the community longed for a perimeter wall, and through the award, we were able to help make that possible. These experiences have changed me. But perhaps what struck me most rather wasn't the fence, but the people. They welcomed us with laughter and football games played with balls made of socks. We didn't have much, yet I did not feel as though we lacked, and in that moment, I realized something. They say you must walk a mile in a man's shoes to truly understand his life. But let me tell you, for me, it didn't even take 10 footsteps to start counting my own blessings. The things we often take for granted: education, resources, opportunity. They maximize it so little. Just imagine what they could achieve with a fraction of what we often waste or overlook. The award has pushed me beyond my comfort zone, teaching me how to lead and how to follow, how to serve with empathy and impact. It's changed all of us into the adults, professionals, and leaders our home Kenya will depend on tomorrow. This moment is proof of grit, proof of late nights, early mornings, and choosing to keep going when it may have been easier to just quit. And for that, each and every one of us here today can hold our heads up high. We've earned this moment. We've done it. Tumemaliza, tumefika. Your Excellency, my one humble request is that you continue to support and expand the award so that more young people across our nation, in every county, every school, can have the same chance we've had, can have the honor to be where we are today. It is often said that a society grows great when young people plant trees whose shade they may never sit in. Through the award, we've learned to serve beyond ourselves, to build, to give, and to invest in a future bigger than any one of us. And in doing so, we are laying the foundations for the Kenya we are to inherit, and the Kenya we are already shaping. Thank you. My name is Amani Njoki.
A round of applause for the main speaker of this meeting. What Amani has said there is profound. I wish each and every one of us and every Kenyan can listen to what she has said. It is, in my opinion, a very consequential statement. Congratulations, Amani, and your team. I know you spoke on behalf of all the gold awardees and all the other people in this program, and your wishes of expanding this program to reach many more young people is therefore granted. And you will that. So thank you very much. My very best wishes Mkirudi nyumbani si mtasalimia wazazi wenu jameni? Mtawasalimia wazazi na mtasalimia pia wanafunzi wenzenu na marafiki zenu.
Ko choto kwalak eng neranik mising ko kipsomaninik chekanyor konunotiot noto nebo President Gold Award noto katestai anan tesetai eng State House Nairobi chekakoboibochi konunotiot noto kanyor ole kakikoch konunotiot noto neranik ak kipsomaninik chesirei anan cheite 1,252 ole kongololi nyo ko kagomwa President Ruto kole indene tai serikalinyi magutik chebo neranik amu toreti eng kanaptaitab bandaptai ako icheket kora ko kandoik chebo karon. Ko akoyotok ko kakeit let eng logoiwekab emet ak tetutiet noto nebo Kass Mashinani nebo betutab raini nekomite tuwai kwane Bernard Tanoi amagon kit age tugul nemie testai iker Kass TV amu kimnatet naet.
Get Africa's best entertainment anytime, anywhere, and now for even less.
Here's what we're here for, duh.
With DSTV Stream and Safaricom Home Fiber.
Wow.
Just dial *400# then 0 to choose this DSTV offer. Select your Safaricom Home Fiber account and the DSTV Stream package you want, now at a discounted price. Then select your home fiber plan, confirm payment, pay using your M-Pesa PIN, and click on the link received to sign in to your new DSTV Stream account. Then enjoy the best movies, series, and sport in Africa at its best price ever. Only with DSTV Stream and Safaricom Home Fiber. T's and C's apply.
Say yes to a box full of what you love only on your StarTimes decoder. Recharge your monthly subscription today. Dial *858# for self-service. Stay connected for heartwarming stories to edge of your seat action.
Bravo 4, this is Dragon 26.
There's something for every mood, every moment, every kind of love. Because love isn't one thing. It's everything you enjoy together. Renew your subscription and unwrap endless entertainment. Download the StarTimes On app to enjoy all your favorite shows and stream live channels on the move. StarTimes. Enjoy digital life.
We're kicking your year off in all her glory. With more, because we've got you.
You get it?
We got kicks. We got scores. We got action. We got roars.
It's my specialty.
We got drama. We got fun. We got more for everyone. With an upgrade on us, just for you. More channels, more shows, more reasons to stay.
We got you.
DSTV, we got you all the way.
Kimitei akobo inye ako kimita sikinetkei kibaibaitkei ak kinoisechigei tuguk cheterter chetesetai eng emetab Kenya ak emotinwek chebo sang. Inyorwech eng DSTV channel 266, Zuku channel 19, GoTV channel 099, StarTimes channel 164, Pang eng free to air, Bamba free to air, Azam channel 336 koboto online streaming eng www.kasstv.co.ke.
Kotitinye ng'oliot age tugul kotinygei ak tetutik sirwech sirutiet en oretab email konyo info@kassfm.co.ke anan ko SMS en namba 5552 anan ko 30552 ak imwawech kit neichome ak nemechome.
Kass TV, kimnotet naet.
Uko ready ku entertain? GoTV inakupa more shows. Juu wewe ni wetu.
That's right.
More movies.
Yes.
Jackpot. More cartoons za watoi.
Of course.
Na more futa.
No doubt about it.
Habari ndio hiyo. Tunakupatia more.
Girl, that is so true.
Exactly. Lipia package yako tuko upgrade to the next package on us.
Yes.
That's good to know.
Eng kila kosomok kasi koitun tetutiet nebo mung'aret ak bandab tai eng ketesiet nebo Kass TV kong'ete sait 1 agoi sait 3 nebo kemboi.
Mache kong'et biikab bororiet kochigil kandoit nekwe asimasibisas.
Katorchinetabgei nebo tetutioni kokonetin tuguk chetesetai eng emet cheboto mung'aret ak polotet koboto tetutik chebo bandab tai amu kitepse ng'amotik ak kandoik.
Kemeche kemwochi bororietab kolenjin kelenjin ongoba vijana TVET ngochut vijana National Polytechnics akonetkei courses che aligned to the trade and market nemakat akekany keboisien opportunity nakitinye koba sang.
Shadrach, it is unfortunate kele the same thing nikiai Uhuru Kenyatta ku kiayak with this same regime.
Amuni kole chito Al-Shabaab akonyo kodare ngebar biik mut chekakimwong metoe akebir transfer. What is that? Asikarik chekamwoke bichu amun asikarindet konyolu koboisien metinyi konai kole ngotot kileon shuten chicho unarmed ma-armed chichi kunyolu ashuten.
So amache osom amwochi biik chokolenji kiyoe kou ortinwek chon kikemwa kele kimache keyai airstrip nombo Bomet nebo Kerengani ketebe ko tugul kobeku en nguni.
Megany kosirin tetutiet nebo mung'aret ak bandab tai kila kosomok kasi koibun Shadrach Mutai eng Kass TV.